He's appeared on national radio and television. President Ronald Reagan and hundreds of educators from Alaska to Florida have endorsed the Life Assembly program. Would you help me welcome Jerry Johnson?
Thank you. It's good to be here today. Jerry, I never planned to get into drugs. When I was in junior high, a few of my friends came up to me. They had a few joints or reefers. They said, "Hey man, let's have fun." And we started hitting on joints at Friday night parties. And then we started getting blown before school, after school, during school, all the time. We're in one of the big high schools in Atlanta. The first string basketball star walked up to me right after the assembly. He walked up to me and grabbed my arm, huge, tall guy, hand wrapped around my arm. He started pulling me behind a partition area, and I very obediently followed him behind the partition area. How does the average guy learn about sex? Is it mom and dad, or is it Ward, Cleaver, and June? Back in the family room, breaking the little story to Beaver, while he's drooling on his clean t-shirt? Or is it some guy over here in the locker room telling some super exciting story, and all the other guys are standing around having cardiac arrest with their tongues hanging out, panting like a bunch of dogs that haven't had water for several days? They went through a wooded area. Bill whipped out one of these joints. He started hitting on it. This teenager didn't even know what he was doing. And then he turned to him and he said, "Hey man, have you ever been blown?" He said, "Bill, I'm straight." And then Bill started putting the pressure on. He said, "Come on, everybody's doing it. We all do it at school. And when somebody's going with the flow, and you don't want to be alone, do you?" And he said no to Bill the first day. He managed to say no to Bill the second day. The third day, Bill went over to his house, got him. They went across the golf course. Then he took him and put him behind some bushes. And then he put the pipe in front of his face. He said, "Now come on." And 3 days later, that young man made a sad choice. They went to school and turned their friends on. They'd meet early before the bus came, get blown, go to speech class. And then Friday and Saturday nights, how could they ever forget the parties? And you know, teenagers all over the country know what the Friday and Saturday night parties are like. They'd go to homes where parents were gone, black lights, strobe lights. Kids would sit around in circles. They would take a roach clip, put a joint on it. Everybody would hit on the joint, get several roach clips rolling around the circle. Girls would bring brownies they baked hash in. They would cut them up and distribute them. Everybody'd eat a brownie, a little longer lasting high. Other kids brought liquor. And finally one night, he was at a party, got blown, got the munchies, ate a bunch of unbaked breakfast rolls, and then went out of the party, blown, didn't know what he was doing. They stuffed him in a little 4-seater Volkswagen Bug, and the guy started driving. He said, "I'm sick." And they said, "Well, just sit back." And then he vomited all over the little 4-seater Beetle Bug. And there's not a lot of room for that in a 4-seater Beetle Bug. First time we got blown, Bill was showing me how to hit on a reefer. He said to me, "All we'll ever do is marijuana. All we'll ever do is marijuana." Last I heard, Bill was a burnout. Can I tell you about some of my friends retrospectively? Bill, a burnout, Valley, a little girl that went to parties and got used and abused. She got sucked in the drug scene. She became a drinker. Before, of course, Valley was passed around at the parties. I want to tell you something. I don't know where Valley is today, but I'll tell every girl in this building, no guy loves anything he does not respect. I'm sorry, Mom. I didn't think it was bad news when I first started taking it, but I've been getting pretty blown lately, and it's hard to keep my mind bent, because right now is the most important time for every one of you students to stop and think, and while you can, to put the brakes on and to evaluate the direction of your life and the things you're doing. Ask yourself, is it worth it? I hope you'll think. Thank you very much.